There we are. Y'all hear my stomach. I don't know what's going on there. Okay. All right. So we're back.
Another spilled drink.
Another spilled
Another
drink.
day.
That's crazy,
Right?
right? Another day, another spilled drink. No big deal. So, well, first of all, we just filmed the show allegedly on working from home, but we got into the other shit.
Yeah, we talked a little bit about that.
So we got.
So we think that we should retitle all of our shows, whatever it's going to be, subject and other shit. Because,
whatever comes up.
Yeah.
But yeah,
so us though.
I know, right? And it is the way actual organic conversations go, right?
Yes.
Like, because I mean, I don't know how many times I have like typed a note before we all had coffee in the morning, like of things that I want to, like, don't forget, we gotta, pick up on this conversation, or we've got to talk about whatever.
Totally.
But I'm excited to talk about pro-aging and anti-aging. I think because there is no pro-aging really, right? There's all this like, I'm 46, 46, 47.
Right.
And so everything geared at us as women of a certain age is about anti-aging, right? As if it's bad, as if it's something we need to fix, stop, hold back the hands of time. And so to me, I'll never forget, I was at the ball field and how old was I? I mean, what was I? 35 maybe, right? And it was my birthday, and this teenage boy came up, and he's like, was one of the brothers of the girls on Shelby's team. And he goes, "Oh, how old are you?" And I was like 35. And I always like feel better when I get older, right? I love getting older. I love telling a new age, right? And so I said 30, and he's like, I would have said like 28 or something like that. He's like, "You're welcome." And I couldn't stop myself. And I was like, "No, buddy, I don't want to be 28 again." Right? Like, I'm happy.
I've learned.
Right. I'm happy to be 35. Like, don't assume that every woman is discontent with her age, right?
Yes.
And so, and when I see, and even though I do use anti-aging, like I've had Botox, not that much because I don't want to get like rose face, right? But I've had Botox, and I'm not ashamed of that either, right? I had I felt like it was too like harsh, my wrinkles. So I did that. But to me, it's like, I just love getting older.
Yeah.
And I wish more women felt like that, right? I always feel bad. We had a mutual friend who turned, however old she turned, she's our age. And on her cake, it was like 21, or, people will say like, it's my wife's 22nd birthday again. You know what I'm saying? And I always kind of feel bad for them. Like, oh my gosh, I just want her to own how old she is, right? Like, who wants to be 21 again? I don't. No.
I will say that I do, like when they ask for your ID or whatever, and I'm still like, come on. No, I'm not even close to 21. Like that's whatever. But when they like get it and they're like, oh my gosh. Yeah, I really did not think that. Like, I'm shocked. You look so much younger. Okay, I love that. I'm not offended.
Sure, 100%.
I'm not offended at all. Again, though, I'm fine being my age. I did not mind turning 40. No, I wasn't like, I'm so depressed about this at all. I was actually very happy about
50,
it.
Actually,
yeah. And the Botox. So I have done Botox once, and when I went in, I was going in with my friend, like, and it was a special or something, I don't know. And we went in. Really wasn't planning that I would get it, but I'm like, we'll touch up some things, whatever. And then one of the places right here, where I'm like, oh yeah, I do have a deep
scowl.
Yes. And mine's a line like that. So I was like, yeah, let's do that. Wherever she put the stuff, well, number one, she was like, well, and I'm like, I don't even really have forehead wrinkles, just because that's not how I scowl.
Yeah.
Whatever. But not that I needed to Botox for it. Wherever they put them, they made my eyelids hooded. Oh, it was awful.
Horrible. I did not notice that.
Yes. It was like a good maybe 2 months that they were put, and I didn't. I went, and I happened to be going to Vegas, and a friend that was there who has done Botox plenty of times, and she's, beautiful and young and doesn't need it. But she does it, and she's like, oh, that's one of the things, like people can end up with them. So I'm like, why didn't I know this? Of course I'm going to end up with hooded eyes. And so now I'm scared of Botox. But I also, my cousin, she has laugh lines or crow's feet on her eyes.
Yes.
And I think she has the most beautiful eyes in general and shaped
Yes.
eyes.
I love crow's
Yeah,
feet,
me
right?
too.
So
Smile,
she
smile.
has
Yes.
talked about, yes. I
Yeah.
tell her all the time, like, please don't ever, like, I will never say anything about what you do ever, of course, please don't ever get rid of those. That shows
Yes.
how much you've laughed. And
Yeah.
that if there's
Yes.
one thing that she and I have done together a whole lot of, it's laughing. And I'm like, I just think they're beautiful. And I know I am not the norm in that. I know y'all are fine with it, but like most people don't, but anybody that has them, I'm like, I love them.
Yeah.
I love crow's feet.
So you would never get Botox.
No.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
I used to think I would not, but
The anti-aging thing is really weird for me. Of course, I want to look as young as I can. Like, I want to
physically
be
can.
my
Physically, yeah,
age,
naturally.
but in the most youthful
Yes.
position of my
Yes.
age.
And
Like, I
they'll
want
do
to be
things to
proud
preserve
say,
that.
like,
Yes.
I'm 47,
Yes.
right? Like, I want to,
And
Yep.
you are, right?
Yeah.
47 or proud.
Proud.
Oh yeah,
Okay,
I'm
good.
fine.
Yeah,
I'm fine
good.
with it. Like it could be a whole lot worse, right?
Right.
That's how I look.
Yeah. I mean, thank God
I
I
know,
made you.
like, I mean, look even at the people we went to school with, right? And it's like they are literally saying things like, I'm getting so old, or they're like complaining about their back. And I'm like, what the heck? I think it's a joke, and it's not a joke.
Yeah.
And they're talking about like,
Well, but I
our
do
age,
say my
blood
mom.
pressure, things like that.
Yeah, but my mom ran circles around me at 73 and literally,
She was
meaning
super active.
her, the day she went to the hospital and was then diagnosed with cancer, which she passed away from 115 days later for those that are watching. But literally she's taking down wallpaper the day before she goes into the hospital to be diagnosed, just think she's having some stomach pains, whatever. And I always thought, like, how does she have the energy to do all this?
Yeah.
I just don't. And she worked. She was a waitress,
Yes.
like up until that very diagnosis.
Mm-hmm.
And so to me, I'm like, I think that we at our age are probably feeling aches and pains and old more so than they did. And I don't know why.
They stayed moving
because
Yeah,
it's moving,
absolutely.
And, I think about this a lot with me. I never not once saw my mom. I don't even remember seeing her when she was sick and I was younger. Like if she ever got a cold, she had walking pneumonia a ton of times. I don't ever remember seeing her in bed or on the couch, like just relaxing. She was always doing something, or she might sit on the couch and watch TV, but never like laying down. And I'm thinking, I wonder if my son will say he's ever seen me doing things or sitting on the couch. Like he's probably like, my mom's either, she lays in bed and watches her shows, or she's on the couch, like,
That's funny.
I just
what
don't.
stories our kids will have.
Yeah.
And we totally.
But I think
separate
that's the
about
difference in like you were saying, they're always moving. They
Yeah.
100% were, and we are not. And I think that's why we feel
Well, I don't feel that way. Like I feel great.
you're
Like
always moving.
no, I'm not. I mean, I just started like wearing my Fitbit again. And because it's such a sedentary job, right? Episode 3, I was
right.
working from home, but I mean, I love what I do. I'll sit down, and if I don't have to get up, so I've got to force myself. And
Well, and I
I've
guess,
been-
but you like to go on walks. You're
Oh, yeah,
hiking.
yeah.
You are moving, even if it's not all day. You are
yes,
being active in some way.
sure.
There can be days where I'm not active at all.
Yeah.
So
That's my
and I
downfall.
think,
Literally, I could spend however many days.
but I think that's why we feel
literally
the
doing
aches and
nothing
pains.
at all.
Yeah.
And if someone wanted to bring me food, I'd be fine with that.
Right.
Oh my
Right? Like I'm like,
Yeah.
and that's awful.
Because
It's
we can
awful.
work
I
from our
look at
laptop
it and
right
I'm like,
there,
I had a text. Could you bring me some food?
yeah, like, and I'm
Yes.
smart enough to know
Mhm.
I need to move. Like
Mhm.
it's
Yeah.
so good for your body.
Imagine
it's
the people that
good
have
for your
access to
mental
like
health.
full on DoorDash or Grubhub.
Ugh,
We'd be doomed.
Totally.
We'd be 500
Yes.
pounds, and
Totally.
short order. Well, we need to start walking again.
we do.
When the weather.
Yes.
Yeah.
Although it's not terrible right now.
Yeah,
To
but
walk.
we do need to
Wow.
get back into that.
Yeah.
I can probably give you 10 excuses as to why right now is not good, but none of them are valid.
It is cold. It is called the same.
It's close. Today it's raining.
Like, yeah, cold and rainy.
Yeah.
Yes. True.
Now
true.
I'm the weirdo though. Like when I'm making myself be active, like
Yeah.
I will run and I will literally run in my house.
That's so funny. I'll never forget hearing you say that, because the vision that went through my
Right.
mind. There's
Like, I
that.
would be like, she's a crazy person.
Yes, there's that horror flick, right? There's this horror flick where the kids go to like grandma's house,
Yeah.
and she's like, running. And she's like scratching at the door. And
Yeah,
that's
I
my vision. No, but when you told me, I was like, you run the house.
I do.
And she's like, yeah, I do like a figure 8, and I'm thinking,
I totally do.
so I mean, for you to get a figure 8, that's weird.
However, I would
And
love
she's
for you
on
to video
Yes,
one day.
yes.
Okay.
And she was talking.
And you guys should
Yeah.
request that. I want to
She
see
like
that.
ran fast. She was saying she ran
Yeah, I
fast.
can run. I mean,
Yes.
whatever. Look, it's the same temperature all freaking time. It's never gonna run. There's never gonna be a dog that's gonna suddenly appear and bite you, which people know about.
Yes.
Like, see, none of that shit's happening to me. I don't have to bring a gun.
Right.
I'm
You don't have
good.
to worry about your
I'm-
walking partner laugh as the dog's biting you.
100%.
Hanging on your leg.
Plus, when I'm running, I don't want a partner. If I'm being honest.
Oh,
Like,
no.
Oh, yeah, I don't
Same.
Like, don't talk to me.
No,
I don't. Like, I don't-
No.
I'm the same.
I don't
And
mind you
I'm like,
being with me as in, like, we could be running on the same street, like at the same time. We could literally show up together and whatever. But I'm putting my,
Yes.
I'm listening to
I've
what
gotta
I want
have
to listen
music
to.
on.
And you can run at whatever pace you want to run at, and I can too. But at least, like, maybe we're there in case somebody tries to kidnap us.
Yes.
See,
Right?
I don't have to worry about those things.
You don't when you're in your
No
house.
kidnapping, none of that stuff.
Eventually, we're going to get a comment on the podcast that introduces Lori to something called a treadmill.
I hate them. I have one.
I do too. Oh, do you?
Yes.
I
I
hate it.
love
It feels
a
like a
treadmill.
rat in a cage.
I hate, you know why I hate it? It's fine until it stops. And then it feels like I've stepped on a freaking boat. And I don't like that
Oh.
feeling at all. I would rather run in figure 8s in my house than
Yeah.
on a treadmill.
Well, I
Oh,
can't
that's,
stand
I
it.
can see
don't
that
like
happening
it.
though to people.
Yeah, I don't
It
like
doesn't happen to me, so I don't have an excuse of why I don't use mine that's in my house or my
Yeah.
Peloton, but I don't use them.
I love my.
I mean, and Paul's like, it's awesome. I mean, like, he's got the TV up and,
Oh,
like, you know,
yeah.
all the stuff around. And he's like, whatever. And I'm like,
Hey, I did hear
Mhm.
about something that I want to try, and I'm going to see if we can get like them to sponsor the show. But okay, it's called Supernatural, and it is a workout thing, and you use an Oculus.
Oh, wow.
Okay. So instead of just making up something like a spin class on the, on the Peloton or running or whatever,
Which is created
Like,
by
you
a
can-
general for sure.
Right.
A spin class.
I love those spin classes, but you can
Yeah.
battle, like, what
That
I'm saying? Like
would be
things
awesome.
coming at you.
Oh,
and you're like,
yeah.
Bam, bam, bam. And then you can actually fight people, like no more like kickboxing. You're like, knocking people out
Well,
or
I like that.
disc coming at
Wow.
you. And to me, I'm like, oh yeah, we would love
Yes.
that. And I saw somebody post about it. She has this thing called My Bariatric Kitchen, and she was posting about it. And she goes, I've had like a really like long day, and she's probably, I would say like 52, 53. And she said, and I was like, I need to just work out for the day. It was like late for her, and she figured she'd do 10, 12 minutes. She's like 45 minutes later.
Because she's having such a good time.
Yes.
Wow.
So to me, and then you can also
Heck
like
yeah.
you can also hook together. So like we could all be in our
Oh.
houses and like we could battle together, whoever we're battling.
my
right?
Oh my
This is
goodness.
good stuff.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'm all
we
in
use
that.
for Peter and Paul, they this same like technology or whatever, you can play golf on any course in the
Oh.
world.
Really?
Yep. And it's like, so anyway.
Oh, this is cool.
very excited.
I want to look into it now. Just
Yes.
to
Yeah,
see.
so we have an Oculus in the house.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but I don't
Yeah.
know how
I
to.
feel like we
No.
might even have one.
Literally, I bought it because someone wanted it.
Right. And now
As
they'll
a
have it,
Christmas gift, and like I know they use it,
Yeah.
but other than that, like I
Do
don't
they
know.
use it?
Yeah, they do.
Okay.
They play.
Oh, they do?
They mess
Okay.
around with it. They mess
Okay.
around with it.
Oh, good.
Yeah. So, but I don't know anything about it. Do you know what I'm
Yes.
saying? Like I couldn't even tell you.
Right. Usually you have one.
Do you have to download something? Like I don't know.
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah.
Like, it was literally like, here you go.
Yes.
Have fun.
Yeah.
Good.
And then
Well,
The
I'm so
only-
excited
yeah.
about that. I definitely am going to get that.
Yeah.
So
That's very cool.
I
Actually.
think it's really cool.
Yes. Because that's the thing with working out. I need to enjoy it or I'm not doing it.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
it takes a lot to make me enjoy it.
Well,
Like I liked our
Even-
classes.
yeah.
and stuff, but yeah.
Even when I'm super fit, because I go through like
Yeah.
super
Same,
fit and
same.
then not fit, and then super fit and then not fit. And even when I'm super fit, I still don't enjoy it.
Same.
Like, and there's people who are like, you just gotta like, well, you'll get there. It'll like, and I'm like, no,
No.
I fucking hate it. Like,
Well,
I honestly hate it.
I did love Tabata when we, well, I
Yes.
used to do that when I was like, when I lost all my weight and was really, thin for my 40th, that I was so excited to be. And I would do Tabata, that's a 30-minute class. And I really enjoyed that. And I just felt like it was, when it was over and done, I'm like, I don't feel like I gave up anything to be here. Like, I'm not miserable about it. I'm not mad about it. Now, if I would have run 30 minutes on the treadmill, I'm pissed every second of it. Like, pissed. I'll do it, but I'm not a person that hits my stride. And it's random if I hit my stride and can run and continue to run. Normally, I'm just mad.
I was just talking to Chris about this because I love my spin classes.
You
and
do.
I have since
And you
it was
always
like
have.
Cycle Reebok, right?
Yes.
Like in the 90s. And I loved it.
You've always
you know,
loved it.
I've always loved it. And
You've tried
even
many times to make me love it.
I
and
know, right?
Every time hate it.
I know, but it's so good. And the instructor at Peloton that I just love is like a workout class and like a life coaching class.
Yes.
And it's like women's empowerment. It's like amazing. It's all these things. And I'm still like having to force myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I had the thought, I was like, well, I'll get back into it
Mm-hmm.
and I'll get back into it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not happening.
Yeah.
And so I was just having this conversation with Chris, and I'm like, what I'm inspired to do is that Fitbit, which I don't have one right now, but like that Fitbit will tell me like every hour, like you've got 10 minutes to like do 250 steps or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm
Challenge
thinking,
yourself.
huh?
Right. Like challenge
Yeah.
yourself. Like
Right.
this is a
But I don't get up and walk. I get up and do like, 60 or 80 like jumping jacks,
Mhm.
right?
See,
And
now I
then-
can do jumping jacks. Be
yeah,
fine.
like that to me.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking,
And
I
my
don't
heart
know-
is beating fast after
Yes,
this.
I don't know how it's going to work for me, like with losing weight. I'm hoping it'll work because I'm thinking
Yeah.
that's got to keep my blood sugar in check.
Mhm.
If I'm doing jumping jacks, I'm
Right.
not snacking, like, and I haven't even wanted to snack as much because I'm like every hour I'm up doing jumping jacks or I'll do squats
Yes.
or whatever. And to me, I'm getting into that, right? Like
Yeah.
a 2 to 3 minute little
Mhm.
burst,
Uh-huh. Yes.
and then
I could get on board
I
with
get
that
that.
all day long.
I feel like, and I'm enjoying
Even though I
it.
tell myself I'm going to do it and I don't. But
Yeah.
again, that's where I'm we get back to our previous episode of working from home. I'm also not a workout from home self-motivator.
Yeah.
It sounds good. I want to do
Yes.
that, but I don't, and yeah.
I am. Like once I get into the discipline of it, I will
Me
be
too,
like,
when I get into it.
Yeah.
It's getting me there and I'm less self-disciplined than I
Where
used
is
to.
your Peloton? Is it inside or in the garage?
It's upstairs in the spare room with a ton of, that's our catch-all room.
Okay.
Yeah.
So-
It's covered in dust.
There's like a part of me that says, okay, like I know you're supposed to be fit and it's
Yeah.
very healthy for you. It's healthy
Yep,
for your
yep,
brain. It's healthy for all of
Yeah.
us, right? It's healthy for your all of it. There's also the part of me that's like, you need to be okay with you, with you, with
Yeah.
all of you, right? Like there's
Yeah.
like that whole,
Yep.
Mhm.
without
We were talking about this not long
getting
ago.
fit and whatever, to literally be like, this is me.
Yeah.
Right?
Well,
Like,
and
this
that
is-
is
this is
where I think that because all of my working out has always only been associated with losing weight,
Mm-hmm.
that I automatically think that way, like, or put it in that place. And really, truly, some of my best things that I can take away from those is not the losing weight or how I looked. It's really about how I felt mentally and
Oh, yeah, it's
physically.
huge mentally.
Huge mentally. And
And that's
I
what
wish
drives
that I
Chris.
could remember that in those. Well, and I, when we talk about Chris and like him being hot, whatever, but I'm like, Chris doesn't do it for that reason.
He doesn't. He is all about like the mental health.
Yes.
I mean, he's into the physical health, but it's
Right.
like if he
And he
doesn't
can
work
appreciate the outcome,
Yes.
but that's not his reason.
out, no.
And that is where I think, because I only, having been someone who was so skinny for so long and could not gain weight, and so therefore didn't need to diet,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm picky, to then when I gained weight, which we can talk about in another thing, it happened and it came really fast in a big way. 40 pounds in 9 months. Tune into that one. And then we go. And
that's 9 months of my life.
And no baby was at the end. No baby came at the end.
That's funny.
Yes.
That's
And
shocking.
so I didn't know how to, one, eat the right way, or work out. Like I'd never worked out.
Mm-hmm.
So the only times I've ever worked out has been to lose weight. And then it happens and I get out of my groove and, you know, it's like, oh, I got here because that's why I started it. I never have done working out for my mental health only. And I think that maybe that's funny.
It's funny because working out, like for me, will never help me lose weight. It's always about what I eat.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm active all the
Mine
time
has to
anyway.
combine both.
I'm always, and
Mhm.
you've always been like that. And I'm like, good Lord, you know, because to me, I do stay pretty active.
You do.
And so to me, it's all about like the kitchen.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's so funny with you when you were little, like she would be like, I don't know why everybody says you're so skinny. You're so skinny.
Yes.
And you would get so mad.
So like, well, and people would always be like, because, you know, we were in junior high and then high school and
then after high
girls
school.
are bitches and they were, oh, definitely she's anorexic. And I used to think, first of all, no, I'm not. Like I eat a ton.
Yes.
Well, not a ton. I did not eat a ton. That's the truth. Is that, you know, where they say portions are what I didn't eat a ton, but I definitely ate crap. Like, you know, my mom was not a mom that cared about what, if I wanted to eat a half a gallon of ice cream in the middle of the day, eat a half a gallon of ice cream. I don't care. And you can eat dinner or not eat dinner. Like, I don't care about that either. You know, like she just didn't care. And so I ate junk food all day long because that's what I liked. And then, yeah, I just wouldn't gain weight and I would just be so offended. And like really, truly, I was offended for myself, but I would try to be like, but there are really anorexic people. And you, this is so, which is true, but I'm like, really, I'm just like, I am not.
Yeah.
And you guys, like I'm eating a ton, which y'all knew this about me. You knew what I was eating and whatever, but then the crappy thing is that I did then gain 40 pounds in 9 months. So I'm like all of the people, because that's when Facebook came around and stuff. And I'm like, they're probably like, she finally broke that anorexic habit. And now look at her.
She believed it.
Bitch got fat.
That's another episode. Bitch
Yeah,
got
bitch
fat.
got fat.
So I
But
love
she did.
But my daughter's the same way. So Shelby has been like beanpole skinny her entire
Yes.
life. And then she fought really hard to gain some weight, you know, and her goal, she kept saying, my goal is like, and she'd name a weight. And I'd say, honey, that's my goal too. I will be there.
We don't need that yet.
I'm like, honey, you're not gonna reach that goal. Like, you know, and she worked and ate and ate and ate and ate. And she's finally has gained weight. And so now she's getting married.
Yeah.
And she decided, I don't know if you remember, I wore after my wedding, the reception, I put on that short white skirt, like a little white thing. And she's like, I want to wear that of yours. So she tried it on like a few months
you
ago.
were so tiny.
And she's like, she couldn't fit in it.
No.
And she's like, now she's working out because she's like, I feel like I finally gained enough weight that if I can work out, because she loves working out.
Her body is so different from what yours was then.
It's
that
so
even
crazy.
if she was toned or even thinner, it's so different from what
It's so
y'all are
different,
built.
but she's
so different.
She's now able to, like, she's gonna wear that at her reception.
Oh, she can. Okay,
Yeah,
good.
she's like,
I was like, please don't let her, because y'all are built different. Like,
oh yeah, no, she'll look gorgeous.
I didn't want her
but-
to be disappointed. If
Oh
she
no,
couldn't.
no, she
Yeah.
was. If she couldn't,
You
she
were
was fine.
itty bitty then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
due to my spinning.
Yes.
You
You were tiny.
What were we talking about?
I know.
Anti-aging.
Anti-aging.
I don't
So
know.
I definitely think
happened.
movement. We were talking about movement, right? Like, you know, if you don't,
Oh,
if you
yeah.
rest, you rust. That's what my mom says. If you rest,
Okay,
you
I
rest.
like that.
And I'm like, so I feel like anti-aging, like I just want them to embrace like
Yeah.
who they are, not just how old they are, but who they are.
Yeah.
And we had a conversation about that. Like I'm working on that as well, right? Like I want to constantly be improving, but be fine showing up how I am in that moment, right?
Yeah.
And I just feel like women would be so much more powerful if we weren't at all like dreading an age. I mean, the alternative is you don't reach that age. Like my brother is forever 43.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Your mom.
Yeah.
Forever 73. And it's like, you know, the alternative is you don't reach that next age.
No.
And so to me, I'm like,
I'll reach it. And yeah.
Yeah.
What a commitment to make to distract yourself from aging or delay aging, whatever. And then you're only going to be disappointed because number one, you're either going to have to keep doing medical procedures or whatever it's going to take. But it's happening. You can't stop that if by the grace of God you get to live long enough to be there, you know? So I just don't want to commit myself to that.
Yeah.
You know, now my mom, speaking of, was someone who she was not, you know, we talk about how she was with weight too. Like she never dieted.
No.
Or she did. She didn't talk about it. So growing up as a girl in a house, while I was very skinny, like we just talked about, I used to always tell her, you're the reason I don't know how to diet and you're the reason I don't work out because you didn't, but you also didn't complain.
Yeah, my mom.
I did.
So
And your mom taught us how to count calories at a really early age.
Jeez.
But, you know, but my mom also did not care about, you know, she was a sun goddess. She laid out in it all the time and, you know, did not protect her skin at all. And by the way, that was not the cancer that she died of.
Yeah, as an aside.
I know, because that's a miracle. But she did not. And she did age, you know, like she aged, but she was just so confident in that and being where she was.
Well.
Oh
But
my
she had
gosh,
wrinkles
yeah.
from sun and, you know,
I thought she
other
was
things.
amazing.
Yeah, I
Well,
thought
she
so, too.
did 100%. But
And
like,
much younger than like you look at like
yes,
You
other
say
people.
73. You keep
Yes.
saying 73, and I keep going, really?
really,
Yes.
I know.
Like, that doesn't even.
But
you know.
I don't want to also take away from like that. My mom was not a non-wrinkled,
Yes. Yeah.
fresh-faced woman. Like she did have those things, but she embraced that. And
Mhm.
or just was like, but the alternative is to go do all of these things. And I'm not doing that. This is who I am. This is how I got here and whatever. And she just always had that confidence in that. And I love that more than what I could look like. Doesn't mean I don't fault anybody in doing those things because I will
I
definitely continue to do some.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I don't want that to be the importance. Like
No.
where you
And it's
focus
really
on.
about showing up in a way that you feel
Mhm.
you know, excited to show up, right?
Yeah.
Versus like, and I think all of us can say our husbands, none of them pit us against like some 25.
Oh, come on.
You know what I'm saying?
yes.
Yeah. Like
No.
we don't have that
No.
going on. And I know that some women do, right? Like that they're afraid to age because their husband or boyfriend is looking at the kids my daughter's age.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Which is gross.
Yeah,
So
yeah. No, thankfully we do not. You're right.
What were you gonna say?
I was just gonna say, there's like a fine line though between like being confident and showing up exactly where you are and being not healthy, like
Yes.
grotesquely not healthy, whatever
Oh,
that
yes.
might mean. I'm
Yes.
not, you know, and being confident in that and like
Oh,
and
yes.
and making that like it's good when it
No.
really isn't.
It's killing
us.
It's literally not.
It's
good.
no,
It's-
and that's
it's not
where
healthy.
you're delusional. Like
Yes.
there is a fine line. I mean,
Yeah,
not
like-
even fine. There is a.
It is a fine. I mean, truly, it's
Well,
sort
but
of
I mean, like
that.
there, it's an obvious fine line. Like, come on, you know you're not healthy. You know you're not, and that's you should never promote that. Like I just don't think.
I have that event in New York every year, and so that's like the media, which is
Mhm.
kind of, you know, they're afraid to draw any lines of any obvious boundary in
course.
any way, right? And so there are people coming to pitch to media who are like in the bariatric space, right? And here's how they put it, which I love because it, you know, the media didn't hate it, right? And yet it got a truth out there, which says, hey, you should be accepted at every size,
Mhm.
but you cannot be healthy at every
I love
size.
it. That's
And
exactly
I'm like,
perfect.
yes, and I'm
right.
like, that's it.
Yes.
Because to me,
Yes.
it's like, fine, like be big and beautiful, like be whatever, you know.
And there
or
are.
eat cheeseburgers all day, or what, like whatever your
Yes.
limit is that you. But don't say that it's healthy.
That's
like
right.
don't.
No,
you're
right.
telling somebody.
Absolutely. And we're
that
not
it's
just,
healthy,
it's
it's
not
not.
even just fatness, right? And like
Yeah, I was-
gross obesity.
No.
It is also like addiction.
Sure.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's
Anything
addiction.
that's- yeah.
And it's like, you know, just
Mhm.
embrace it. And it's like, fine, embrace it to a quicker death. I mean,
Right,
really,
yeah,
right.
Or same with the obesity. So I love it. It's like acceptance at any size or, you know,
Yeah.
whatever, but not health.
I mean, like
And
even
listen,
I like
I-
drinking bourbon.
Yep.
I'm not going to tell you that it's healthy for you. I'm not going
No.
to say you should
You
do it
should
too.
do-
It's
right.
good for you, but
No.
I'm going to do it, and I'm totally okay with it.
But there
I'm
are
not
also
saying
people who are thin that have very high cholesterol or very high blood pressure. Those people, we're not going to be like, don't worry about that because you're thin and you look great
Yeah,
and whatever.
100%.
No, we're going to say you need to address that. You need to, and whatever you need to do to fix that, do that. Go on medication, go on whatever. But the same being said for people who are overweight, if that's what's causing, you got to do something about it. That's just, unhealthy is, there's two different things. It's two totally different things.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
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 Acceptance.
Yeah, I like that a
Yeah.
lot.
I
Actually.
do too.
I loved it. I was really like blown
I feel
away.
like why? I mean, that should be something that's
That's what
out
I said.
more.
That should be a headline. Like you should be accepted.
Yes.
They said accepted and embraced at every size. But
Right.
the bottom line is you
Don't
cannot be healthy at every size.
Right.
Right.
Right? Like there's no possible way.
That's just a fact.
Yeah,
It's
you
just,
are
it is what
a
it is.
picture of health.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah.
and so anyway,
Yeah.
I love that. But
Yeah.
I think anti-aging, pro-aging.
Yeah.
I will say that I did. It was probably, gosh, has it been like it's 8 months ago or so? Like I literally woke up like in the middle of the night and like anxiety ridden, can't breathe. Oh my gosh, I'm almost 60. Literally was in my
I
head.
know.
Was like,
I mean,
10 years is nothing.
Right,
In 10 years,
yes.
I'm going to be almost
Right.
60. Like
Yes.
I literally was like, oh my God, it was not it was really a time's running out.
Yes.
Right.
That's what it was like. It was like, oh my God, time's running out.
yeah.
And I like have not forgotten what that, like I literally went back to bed, and
Yeah.
woke up and like have not had that
But
anxiety.
think
anymore,
about like
or
if
again.
you split from 30 to where we are, and then from where we are to 60, 30 feels forever ago.
Totally.
But this feels right here. You know what I mean? Like it is
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah. And I'm, I want to be 60 and feel like,
Yeah.
hell yeah, I'm 60. Like
Yeah.
y'all, but also time's running out.
Yeah.
Like there is the
Yeah.
truth to that. Like
Yeah.
it's like,
I even love that though. Like I love the sense of urgency. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I had that same feeling when for whatever reason, like when Summer turned 18, she was still in high school.
Mhm.
And but like the air was coming out of the room, right?
Yeah.
Like, because I was literally running out of time.
Yes. Ew.
It was like, to me, that's when I felt that. But
Mhm.
sometimes I do my best work, I'm my best self when there's that urgency.
Yeah.
You know,
Panic
when you-
almost. Like, yeah.
Yeah, it's like it's not a bad place to be,
No.
and
you just want to live there.
absolutely. And to me, it's like
get there, get shit done, and get out.
yes,
Right.
absolutely.
Yeah. For
But
sure.
I love that. And I love what you said, like 30 to
Yeah. That feels
60.
so long
It
ago to
does.
project.
30-year-old looks like a
Going
baby
forward.
to me now. Like
Oh
I think
my
of
God.
3
We
year
were
olds.
like, we were
babies.
babies
I
at
know.
30 years
I
old.
know.
You know, like, and because we were 30, you were
Yeah.
23
Jeez.
right when what?
when you
You
had
had a baby.
Shelby.
Yes. Baby.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, yeah, I mean, you think that's,
It's crazy.
yeah.
And it's like we were really kid, we were very
Yeah.
young.
Yes.
And my parents were very young. But it's funny because my mom said that she's like, I felt, because I said, I feel the same as I did in high school. I really do.
Totally.
I know I don't look the same. I do
Yeah.
have mirrors in my house.
Yeah.
But if I didn't have mirrors in
Oh,
my
yeah.
house, I don't know that I would even recognize very many
Right.
changes,
Yeah.
because I still feel like that same person.
Same.
And the
Totally.
truth is, I could go right out there in the backyard and I could practice my jumps and
Yep.
I could do it still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was talking to my mom about that, and she said, Michelle, I felt that way until I was about 57, 58.
Really.
And she's like, and then I started thinking, like, not maybe I can't, but
Uh-huh.
maybe I shouldn't.
Yes.
Right? And she's like, it's just not smart,
Yeah.
And so, but I'm thinking,
And,
okay.
I always think about that. Like, it's like when you're sick and you're like, you've been sick for days and you're like, my mind isn't sick. So my mind wants me to get up and go do the things that
Yes.
I need to do.
Yep.
But I can't. I don't have the energy, or I
Yeah.
just physically, whatever it is, I can't do it. And I always wonder when that's going to, I relate that to feeling the age that you are, where I'm like, and I always say this, where I'm like, okay, my mom was not as immature as I am at this age. Like, I still say and do immature stuff where I'm like, my mom was not as childish. Like, which I love that I am this way.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to Tyler and, just even like y'all or, Stephanie, whatever. Like, I love to be silly still and childish. But I'm like, my mom was not. So like, I do think there is, well, she was physically still able to continue as if she was young. Mentally, I'm there, like,
Yeah.
I don't know, my body's not worn out like that.
It
I
will.
would not
Yeah,
tell
it
myself
will.
that I could go out and do any of the things. Like, I'm not even doing a cartwheel out there.
I got stuck. I was wherever I was. It was like a couple years ago, and I was like, "No, I can do it." And so like, "Oh," and I'm like,
No, I can't.
"Now I gotta go out there and do it."
I will be really happy to
Like,
record her
I
doing
can
a
do
cheering
it.
jump and upload it.
It'll take me a little bit. It'll take me a little bit of practice.
Yeah.
I was never very good to begin with. I know. But
My mom would not want to hear you say that.
I know she was my big fan.
She was.
Yeah. So good.
So anti-aging stuff. So I am not opposed to anybody doing anything that they want to do. I don't care, even if I think
Same.
it's the most ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, how could you
Do what makes
possibly
you feel
whatever?
comfortable and confident and
You
whatever.
do whatever you want to yourself, and
Yes.
whatever.
Yeah.
I'm like, for whatever reason, Botox for me is like a no-go, because just the thought of injecting something
Yes.
into
Mhm.
myself
Botulism.
isn't. Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, and they have the other kind too that's not or
Okay.
whatever.
Yeah.
So, but injecting something into myself
Yes,
is like
yes.
whatever. But if you told me like, I've got this cream that you
Yes.
can do, and you have to like literally wake up every hour and put it on and like whatever.
Right.
I'd be like, I'll try that.
Yeah,
Okay, like,
right.
whatever. So it's not.
Yeah.
It's like it just for
Right,
whatever
yes.
reason
Yeah.
that thing is not my
Yes.
thing. You know?
Yeah.
But there's lots of things like that, like the lip stuff and
Uh-huh. I
lip
totally want to do
tinting
lip
and stuff like that.
fillers or whatever it is.
Like
I
that
want that.
freaks me out. Like I don't
Oh, I'll do it in a
know,
heartbeat.
but I would.
But I'm scared of the person knowing what they're doing because once it's done, it's done.
Yeah,
And I gotta wait a while.
I would like to get the lip staining, so like the little tattoo,
Yeah.
just so and the eyebrows.
No, I
Just so
did do
can
the
put
eyebrows,
it-
so obviously I'm not opposed
Wait,
to.
you did
Well, but that's not really
Oh, that's
even.
right.
Yeah, I mean, but I literally went to her and said, this is how this happened. I was with a bunch of girls, and one of them had awesome eyebrows. And so in the group talk, it was like, oh my God, you look so good. And she's like, it's my eyebrows. And this
Yeah.
is, blah, blah, blah. So then in that whole conversation, one of the other girls was like, will you do it with me? And I was like, sure. That sounds great. I'll do it.
I'll do anything.
So,
Yeah.
so I went, and of course, now I'm literally like sitting there looking at the girl, and I'm going, okay, look, don't put caterpillars on my face, okay?
Right, yes.
Like, honestly, if I leave and don't even see a difference, I would be perfect.
If you want to pretend that you did this and I'll pay you and you just tell her you did it, I'm good with that too.
I'm like, oh my God, if I do this to myself and
Yes.
like walk
Yeah.
out and go, I hate my face now.
Yeah,
I mean,
Yes.
I was like,
And I
really
That's
remember-
what I
worried.
was with the
really
Botox.
worried.
And I did.
I have done that before with just dyeing my eyebrows, where it was a wrong tone and
Oh.
everything was different. Everything
Yeah.
looked horrible.
Yes.
So, but
So
I
I put, speaking of tone and whatever, I always put my makeup on in my black robe.
Yeah.
If I put on a different shirt and try to get my makeup on and it's a color, I'm like, something's wrong with my makeup. What is it? It doesn't, and also I usually wear a lot of black, but that's, so I get you with tone.
Yes. So
And speaking about the like confidence, I think that whatever you need to do for yourself in any way, truly, to make you feel confident, and I'm fine with that. I have no problem. I will support whatever. The problem is I think there are a lot of people who have done all these things and they're still not confident.
Well, and here's the, like, as soon as you're saying the words,
Yes.
I wanted to jump in and stop you and say,
No,
if
and
you
that's where-
need to
Yes,
do
100%.
something to make yourself confident, it's
Yes,
different
it's
than,
not going to work.
right? It's different than, I don't like, I'm confident, but I'd like this to be,
Yeah.
but that's what I'm
Right.
meaning is that if it's
to me,
like,
that's a different
okay,
thing. Like, to me,
I-
I'm not confident, but if I just had boobs,
right.
I could be whatever. Like,
Yeah.
no, you're going to get boobs.
But
and
for
be
some
stupid
people, there
and,
are,
you
like,
know,
I
like,
think
whatever.
that's the problem is the further they go, they're thinking these things are going to make them confident and they go further and they're
And
still
it's an
not.
inside job, really, to be
Right.
Totally,
You know,
right?
Well, yeah.
Yes.
Then it's like
Yeah.
you can
And
enhance.
That's where I do believe that because we are confident
yes.
for the most part. We have insecurities for sure.
Yeah.
We are confident. So it's like anything we do extra is like, well, I would have been fine if you never did that. Well, I kind of
Let's see
really
what
like
this
the way
does.
this
Yeah.
looks. Same, like and we can go into this another time, but me doing highlights in my hair, you
Right.
know, like I'm not doing them. sure, my confidence is still there,
Yeah.
but I'm not happy with how I look in the mirror.
Yeah,
I'm
you
not
wanna
getting-
enjoy
You know
it.
what I mean?
Yeah.
So I can tell you that by me getting them, I definitely feel better about myself.
Yeah.
You know, whether I'm looking at myself all day or not, I still know I look better, so I feel better this way.
Yes.
It's when it goes too far that you're like, yeah, you're really, there's more to this than just your.
Well, I'm glad we're
Tweaking.
talking about this because I feel like we're in our 40s. There might be people watching eventually who are in their 20s, right? So we are like older than dirt to them, right?
Yes.
But the thing is, it's that they're starting way earlier. When I went in to get Botox, and I was like, "This is my first time," and just like I'm like,
Yes.
just a little bit, just a little bit.
Jack me up.
Yeah, and they were like, they recommended 50 units because I've got a big forehead and very deep, like horizontal lines. And so I was like, 50. I was like, no, I was like, what do you tell the kids who come in to get Botox, like the 20 somethings? And they're like, oh, well, we usually start them out at like 30, 35. And I was like, well, I'll take 20. And so,
Yeah.
just to like,
Just
call
to
it a
get-
sprinkling,
just to-
just
yeah.
to ease it out a little bit,
Yeah.
And so, but the thing is, people are coming in their 20s to like start this. And I just hate that.
I know.
For them. And so I'm glad we're having this discussion because I
Yeah.
feel like the self-acceptance and the youth, the confidence, like
Yeah.
all of that's really
Yeah.
inside.
Yeah.
And
There's a part of me that wants women to stop it all
yeah,
and like be super freaking natural
Yeah.
and be like, you are beautiful. Like women are beautiful. Like it doesn't,
I'm
I
the
mean-
one woman that doesn't agree with that.
well,
No. I mean, I would love to, but for myself, I'm telling you, like, I'm not. I would never.
she's not joining that club.
No. But don't like if women never put highlights in their hair
Yeah,
and all women like you know
Right.
what I'm saying?
Like,
if
I
that
get it
wasn't
if we
even
were
a thing.
all doing that,
Right.
and we all agreed to it.
yeah.
However, I feel like we've all seen ourselves now, and I personally want the highlights.
Right,
Want
Yeah.
them.
I mean, I'm not living in any kind of fantasy land where this is actually going to happen. I am
No.
totally.
But I
like,
also
you
think
can't go
that
back.
people that say that are usually people like you who are naturally can go without makeup, can go without doing highlights in their hair, and are completely fine with that. Where there's people like me that's like, have you seen me in the morning?
But
No
you know
one
what?
wants that. You don't want to look at that.
Along the
Yeah.
lines of things that are never going to happen.
Yeah.
I would love a study of some culture, not this culture,
Yeah.
but some culture where they never had mirrors.
And that
Oh
would
my
be
God.
so
I would
cool.
love to know like
No
what
kidding.
50-year-olds and 60-year-olds and 80-year-olds do with their
Yeah.
bodies and how they feel and like the
That
joy
would
de
be
vivre.
the
Like to
most
me,
amazing thing ever.
because to me it's like we look at the aging, you know what I'm
Yes,
saying? And then we compare it with like magazines or whatever, right? Like
Yeah.
we look at that and we feel different. You know what I'm saying? To me, it's like how I feel
I could
inside.
spiral on this whole thing.
Yeah, if I
Yes.
didn't have mirrors,
Yeah.
I would literally, I mean,
And you want modern because obviously we had people along the way
100%.
that
Yeah,
didn't
yeah,
have
no,
mirrors,
modern people who
but modern like
we just don't have mirrors. How young do we
Well, but
feel?
what would be
how
interesting
do our
is-
bodies age? What do we do that we're not doing?
Take the
Yeah.
mirrors from like babies when they're born or whatever. This certain group is going to be raised without mirrors, like in a almost like a world of what if the people that are raising them did, you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? But like I would really love one where none of the people have mirrors, where they were those people that were born didn't have mirrors,
Yeah.
and then they have babies, and like what would that would be a whole different
Yeah, I think it would be. I think it would
the
really
most
have
confident.
a much more youthful,
Yes.
active, confident population.
Oh, I would love that. We'll never again.
or they'd be a bunch of slobs.
Yeah,
Right? They'd be like, whatever.
But
stuff
they-
in their teeth.
yeah, they spend a lot less time. Like
No,
looking
that's
at
actually-
themselves,
yes.
right? You know,
We're only thinking of the inside how they feel.
yes.
Or I was. I wouldn't even think about like
hey, they might not see themselves. They still have to look at each other.
right. You need to do something. This isn't good.
I'm not sure how to say
It's not working for you.
But
Trust me, let me draw you a picture.
in this other culture, they have something called mirrors.
I'm gonna put it on paper, and then you look at it and burn it. It's not good.
I'm gonna sketch out what I see. Perhaps that would help. Watchtower.
Yes.
We're excited that you're here, and we'll be back some other time.
Yeah.
With other shit.
Yeah.
Lots of it.
I really think I like that name.
I do too.
Yes.
There's this lady